Good evening, listeners, or perhaps good morning. Depending on when the whispers find you, welcome back to 2 a.m. Archives. Tonight we delve into the peculiar, the unsettling, the things that camouflage themselves just beyond the edge of our understanding. Our subject tonight isn't some ancient cryptid or a forgotten urban legend. It's something newer, something that emerged from the shadows of forgotten back roads and desolate woodlands, primarily within the Appalachian regions of North America. They call it the not deer. On the surface, the description is simple. It looks like a deer, walks like a deer. But listen closely and the facade begins to crack. Witnesses describe anomalies, eyes that are too dark, too empty, limbs that bend at impossible angles, a gait that's just off, as if the creature is mimicking something it doesn't quite comprehend. The first documented reports are vague, anecdotal, hunters describing a sickly deer or one that didn't quite look right. Farmers reporting animals found with strange, clean wounds, almost surgical, despite no predator being sighted. But these were dismissed. Superstition, imagination, until the instances began to escalate. Local authorities, initially skeptical, began receiving calls that shared a chilling consistency. Disoriented individuals found wandering out of the woods, often hours after they were expected back. Their stories were fragmented and riddled with fear. They spoke of a deer that watched, a deer that spoke. This is where our archives truly begin, designated by certain organizations as a low-level, self-propagating anomalous entity, or, as they meticulously categorize it, SCP-6448, the not deer. What is it? That's the question that haunts every file. Is it an invasive species from another dimension, a forgotten spirit of the twisted forest by time, or something far more insidious, a parasitic mimicry that simply wants to be a deer? The primary anomaly isn't just its appearance, it's the effect it has on those who observe it directly, especially for prolonged periods. A subtle disorientation, a feeling of being watched, even when the creature is out of sight. And then the voices. Not a roar, not a call, but whispers. Whispers that seem to emanate from the deer itself, yet feel as though they're inside your head. They are never coherent, never in a language one can understand, yet they instill a profound sense of dread, a feeling of wrongness. Those who interact with SCP-6448 often report feeling a growing urge to return to the location of the sighting, a magnetic pull towards the woods, a desire to understand the whispers. This effect, which we will call the cognitive allurement, is the most dangerous aspect. It lures you deeper. Containment protocols, as you can imagine, are challenging. The not deer isn't aggressive in the conventional sense. It doesn't stalk or attack. It simply exists. And by existing, it draws you in. Teams deployed to investigate sightings often experience temporal displacement. Therefore, they lose hours, sometimes days, with no memory of the intervening time, only a lingering sense of unease. Current theories suggest a localized reality-bending field around the entity, causing not just cognitive effects, but subtle environmental shifts. Trees growing in impossible patterns, sounds echoing from nowhere, the very air feeling heavier and colder. The true danger isn't its physical threat, but its psychological one. It erodes your perception of reality. It plants seeds of doubt and fear, and it leaves you with a question that echoes long after you've left the woods. If it walks like a deer, and it looks like a deer, but it is fundamentally not a deer, then what does that make it? And what happens when the mimicry is so perfect that you can no longer tell the difference? Sleep well if you can, and the next time you're in the quiet of the woods and you see a deer watching you, Just make sure its eyes don't stare back with an intelligence that chills you down to your very core. Because you might be looking at something that wishes it was a deer, but it isn't.